So the Rumi was of the Sufi Brotherhood, wasn't he?
Yeah, Rumi, yes, he's one of the most famous Sufis.
Okay, so they were kind of like monks in that tradition.
Well, more, if you use the term monk, you complicate the process. I mean, because the monks have celibacy, which the Sufis don't practice. You see, the Sufis engage in meditation. They have individual or group meditation. You can go into Khalwa, where you will really engage yourself in very isolated, elaborate, meditative exercise. Or you can engage in what they call wazifa. You may have a number of members of your brotherhood or sisterhood in this case, and you will form circles and you will do the zikr. You know, each order has its own set of rituals, separate and distinct from the others. They have certain things in common, like the zikr. Some of them do zikr quietly, like the Khadiriyas. Some of them do zikr loudly, like the Tijaniyas. And some of them, they combine their worship with drums, you see. And of course, you hear in the West more about the so-called whirling dervishes. I mean, you know, like, and they do their dances, you know, like, you see that more in Central Asia and the Balkan area and Andalusia, you know, the Turks. You find some of that kind of Sufism. And of course, you go to India and Pakistan and other areas, they combine the sama, what they call sama. You know, like they have their traditional pre-Islamic musical instruments, which they now use in the name of Islam and in the celebration of Sufi. And of course, they call it sama, and the Hawali and all that. So, I mean, you have different ways. And of course, some of the Orthodox scholars are very suspicious of the Sufi practices. And of course, in the United States, I have added one word to the vocabulary of Sufi studies in this country, what I call the popcorn Sufis. You know, like, because, you know, you have the popcorn Sufi. I mean, the popcorn Sufi in the American context are people in the United States who do not fully accept Islam in terms of a belief system, but they embrace partially some aspect of Sufism and will identify themselves as Sufis. And you have people like that. They are very much in the New Age group. You know, these are the popcorn Sufis. Because, you know, like, I arrived at this almost 20 years ago when a friend of mine in Washington said to me, she said that her sister called her one day and said to her, "Guess what?" She said, "Guess what?" "I'm a Sufi." Now, this friend of mine, she is very knowledgeable of Islam. So when the sister called her and told her this, that she is a Sufi, and she asked her, "What do you do?" She said, "Well, you know, we hold hands and we sit on the grass and we say, Allah, Allah, Allah." So, I mean, you know, like, then that was the time the thought came to me. I told her, "Well, your sister really is a popcorn Sufi." So, I mean, you know, like, and it's stuck now. You know, now anyone who really has this New Age attitude about Islam, but does not want to go through the the 5 pillars of Islam, you know, praying and fasting and doing all that. I mean, you have some pseudo-Islamic practices about you. You are a popcorn Sufi. That's what I hope I clarify for you.
But in the old days, it was just the men who were the Sufi Brotherhood, right?
No. You have Rabia. You have some very famous Sufi women. Yeah, there were some very famous Sufi women, mystics. You know, sometimes we use the term mystics to describe the Sufis there, that that's the mystical dimension of Islam. Yes, please.